A warm welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Today we're going to be talking about drying towels. Now in this box I have a little bit of detailing history, memorabilia from the channel. This goes right the way back to the origins and the roots and the startup of the detailing channel. And I remember back then I used to love all this because it was an example of where the detailing industry was so much better than what we were used to, and you could really kind of discover all these cool products that you might not have seen. Oh, Jesus. And it was just really, really cool. So we did a video called The Best Drying Towel, where I just went and got a load of towels and compared them and gave you the recommendation. And I really enjoyed doing it. It was like 3 videos that were each like an hour long, but people still watched it, which was kind of cool because they were into it. There you got the yellow, that's the Prestige Jeff's drying towel, which is that stretchy kind of diamond stuff that was from the marine industry that you could use on cars. It was a bit more like works better wet, so it could keep going. It's kind of cool. Quite a lot of people dig those back in the day. Don't talk about it so much now. You had the Rag Company Pluffle, which was kind of cool. It was like a waffle weave, but open pile in parts and really soft. And they were kind of like a thing back in the day. Then you had like your standard waffle weaves, which were no frills and going out of fashion, but some people still liked them because they last forever and they were durable, and that's a good quality Korean waffle. Then you had these coral fleece towels like the Auto Finesse Avalanche, which I think is still on sale, which is really deep pile, shaggy, fluffy coral fleece towel that's popular. A lot of people say it lints, but I don't think it does. I think it just, over time when you wash it with other stuff, it would just build up fibres where it rubs against other things, but you don't get much linting off it if you really look after it. It's a good soft towel. And then you had these warp knit kind of towels, like that was the Fireball one, but they were one-sided back then in the day, and we were talking about how two-sided ones will become more popular. That was the Clean Your Ride one, I think. That wasn't in the test, but similar sort of thing. Then you had this one. Oh, that's testing my memory. I can't remember what this was a thing. This towel was very popular. I can't even remember what it is or who made it, or what it's called. Bonus marks, put in the comments if you recognise that. I didn't think the quality of it was quite as good, like all that sort of stuff, you know. But it was still a soft coral fleece towel. Then you had, that's the Microfiber Madness one. That's a really good quality, soft Korean coral fleece towel. Is that another Fireball one? Got another Fireball one there. Can't remember what that red one is. Is that branded? I think that was a branded one. I can't remember. That's another one from someone. Might be. Oh, I can't remember. Whose is that one? Clin. Okay, just a Clin Korea one. So that wasn't in the test, but that's probably come along later on. The Auto Glim Insta Dry, which wasn't in there. I don't really use that. It's more like a kind of chamois, thick, it's a sort of durable kind of thing. Then you had the Woolly Mammoth from Chemical Guys, which is a massive drying towel, which is quite popular. It's a good towel, decent. I think it was a bit more pricey. Then you had these smaller ones. I think got Dodo Juice and Auto Bright Direct. These are very similar towels, square size, but they're kind of nice if you want a smaller towel. Coral fleece. This one was the winner. This was the Liquid Elements silverback, which I just thought was a bit denser than the others, a bit like all tightly packed and nicely cut. So the nap was all the same size, but it was about the perfect size, and it was about 13 quid. And I thought it was probably the best one in there, you know, and that was the winner. Then you had the Geon one, which is like the Fireball one, you know, the twisted loop. I think those both come second because they're very similar. I think these are really good, but I think double side just gives you a little bit more. This was the Rag Company one. They got rid of that. I think was it the Avalanche? Can't remember. Rag Company. It's almost like a buffing cloth. It was like their Eagle Edgelesses, but just bigger. No, they got rid of that. I don't think it was a good seller for them. This Carpro one, again, another nice coral fleece towel, but very small, so really easier to operate. You can see these are still all soft. These are really, they got used in testing, dried a couple of cars, washed, and then really they've not been used since that test. So these are all mint condition. I think this was like the Purple Monster Mammoth. I think that's still going, Mammoth microfiber, which was a decent one actually. I think it was Chinese made. Not quite as good as the Korean ones, but it was a decent drying towel, that. And really, technology, I don't think with these drying towels has moved on that much. My question today, because what I'm doing is I'm giving these towels away with my monthly, every once a month I try and do a competition and, you know, put a contest on the Patreon page and then ask the question, depending what it is, and then pick a winner and send these off. So my question, or my contest for Patreon this month, is if you were to develop a drying towel now, what would you do? What format would it be? Would it be just a coral fleece towel? Would it have a border on it? Would it be edgeless? Would it be a double towel that's stitched together? Would you have a warp knit towel like the twisted loop one? Would you have a double-sided twisted loop one? Would you have a silk border, or, you know, microfiber suede border, or stitched border, so it's seamless kind of thing? Would you go for a completely different format? Would you try and introduce technology? Would you go hybrid and have coral fleece on one side and warp knit on the other? Imran's done that. That's quite a cool little thing. So my question is, what would you do if you were bringing a drying towel on the market? What would it be like? What format would it be? How much would you charge for it? And how would you make it different so that people actually buy it? That's my question. I'll post it in the group as always. Put your answers in the Patreon page comments, and I'll pick the best one, my favourite answer, and I'll send these off to you. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're not a patron, put in the comments what you think, because we might get someone might come up with a really, really cool idea on what could make a good drying towel. I was chatting to Wax's Dead about this, because virtually everything's been done now. So what do you do? How do you get USP on there? And we were all racking our brains about things you could do. Like a giant microfiber towel that fits on your hand goes in it. It's like one of those Kenny Everett, what's the vicar called? Reverend something or other. Oh God, that's going to bug me now. What is his name? Reverend. Who is the vicar on Kenny Everett with the huge hands? Oh, something had a funny name. It's going to bug me. I have to put these towels away and try and think of his name. Put his name in the comments, that vicar. Brotherly Love, was it? It was Brotherly Love, I think his name was. Brotherly Love. So yeah, very difficult. And I think the cool thing about the industry is the ability for it to innovate and give you stuff, like I touched on at the start of the video. If you went to Halfords back then, 10 years ago, there wasn't any really good, great drying towels in there, was there? Not I can remember. And the detailing scene was so attractive because it offered you so much more than what we were used to, and such good quality stuff. And nowadays it's becoming very hard because it's an established industry and we've just seen it all, so it's very hard to innovate. But I think if you can innovate, you can stand out from the crowd. If you can stand out from the crowd, you can sell products. So that's my thoughts on all of that. What is your favourite drying towel out of all the ones you use? Funny enough, I still use, in the bottom of that drawer, I've got a pile of Supersauruses, which are tiny little dense soft microfiber towels, you know, coral fleeces. And then I have dual-sided warp knits in there. I've still got Imran's orange one that I've had for about 5 years and it's still going strong. I just look after it because it's mainly just sucking up water and that's it. You know, I try not to buff all the dirt out my drying towels. You know, you can go around when you finish washing and then you can like use the drying towel like a cleaner with all the bits of dirt in the engine bay, and you pop the hood and rub everything with them. I don't tend to use them like that. I get the water off my car with them and that's it, job done. If I've got any heavier cleaning, I'll just grab a rag or a, you know, disposable, almost like a, you know, microfiber cloth that I just, you know, that I have lying around. So that's how I do it. So there, yeah, that I've kept for nearly, what is it, nearly 10 years? 9 years ago we did that video. And I didn't want to give it away. It was sitting up there and I'm just thinking, you've got to give this stuff away. You've got to give it away. We did it with the best buffing cloths. I gave all those away, which is phenomenal. And this was the only other one that I'd kept for all that time, I think. Yeah, so a piece of channel history there. We'll be going to one of my patrons, which would be cool. Whoever gets this is going to have enough drying towels to last them a lifetime, and they're really going to be able to experience what I experienced when I did the test, and I was going through and using all these towels and filling them up with water and weighing how much water they could carry, and, you know, using them and trying to think which ones are the safest on the paint. And that was really all the start of this channel, and it was like, it was an obsession with the detailing scene and all these wonderful products that were really good quality, and I love it. That sort of excitement over detailing, that's what it should bring to you. It should bring to you a feeling that you can go and explore it and get some really cool equipment that you might not see in your local depot or automotive parts store that sells detailing products. So it was very desirable back then. It raised the bar so much on everyone's experience. Like a mate of mine, I remember back at the time, he was using pillowcases to dry his car, like a dirty old pillowcase. And I gave him a drying towel and quick detail and said, spray your car with this and towel dry it with this and wash that towel. You know, don't leave it in here getting dusty and just for a year and it goes all crusty and dusty and you're still using it. Use it a couple of times or whatever, hang it up, wash it, dry it, and don't scratch your car. Don't use a pillowcase. And he thought it was brilliant. So yeah, that's what detailing should be about. So let me know your thoughts on how you'd innovate a drying towel which would be unique, something really cool, some new technology. Let me know and I might steal the idea. I mean, be inspired. Okay, over and out. Doug.